The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this edition of Fast Track, we take you out to Purdue's newly designed Ackerman Allen Golf Course and preview the new features it has.
And you only have a few more weeks to visit the Purdue Farmers Market as they wind down the year. Hear what some of the vendors say about the weekly tradition. Fast Track starts now.
Welcome to Fast Track. This week we are coming to you from Purdue's Block P. I'm Tommy Barrett.
And I'm Dakota Simon. From spring to fall, golf fans around the Midwest often search for courses that bring something new and different to their game.
They need to look no further than Purdue University's newly designed Ackerman Allen course for their newest challenge. We took to Pete Dye's latest creation to see what the buzz is all about.
Behind me is the Ackerman Allen Golf Course here on the campus of Purdue University, a place where students and the public alike come for a great golf experience. This golf course has been nationally recognized for years, and it just got a little better. The newly renovated course has been receiving great reviews not only from the public, but from the golf staff as well.
Well, the old course had a lot of undulations on the greens. Several of the greens were very hard to putt on, and when Pete Dye redid this golf course, he changed all of the greens, made them a lot more player friendly.
The new renovations to the Ackerman Allen course have brought even more business than the old course was already receiving.
Well, we've definitely had a lot more golfers. I mean, today's a good example. I mean, we've been pretty solid on our tee sheet on both golf courses, and of course it's a day before a football game, so that's normal.
The great reviews the course has been receiving didn't come at a cheap rate, though.
I know that the renovation, the value of it was somewhere in the $6 to $7 million range.
Okay. The renovation of the Ackerman Allen course is bringing great recognition from the area, but the staff at the Burke Golf Complex have high hopes for national recognition in the near future.
Right now, we've submitted a bid for the women's regional for next year. Okay. We already are doing the men's regional next year. It just so happened that the women's came open, so we submitted for that as well. So I think from that standpoint, there'll be more national recognition.
It's safe to say golfers far and wide looking to check off bucket list courses will add Ackerman to their list soon.
In my opinion, the Purdue golf courses are the finest set of university golf courses in the country.
Dakota Simon, Fast Track Sports. Let's check out the weekend weather conditions from our Fast Track meteorologist, Matt Seedorf.
Thanks, Dakota. We're currently at a dreary rainy day here in Purdue, and we have temperatures pretty much stuck in the mid-60s throughout much of the area here in Indiana. As our high temperatures today, we had a 67 here in Rensselaer, a 65 in Warsaw, a 65 in Kokomo, and a 67 in Champaign. As the current satellite shows, we have a low pressure system positioned right over southern Indiana, and this thing is continuing to spin around, and it should be here until at least tomorrow. You know, and our current temperature right now in Lafayette is 64 degrees. Our dew point is at 60, which gives us a relative humidity of 87%. Our high temperature is pretty much our current temperature for today, which was 64 degrees. And our low temperature was 59 degrees. I'll be back later with more detailed forecasts. Back to you, Dakota.
Thanks, Matt. With October here, the Purdue Farmers Market is finishing up its last month of the 2016 season. The market, located on Purdue's Memorial Mall, has hosted several various vendors.
It's a weekly tradition enjoyed by many Purdue students and staff members, and Fast Track reporter Ryan Nally visited the market last week to talk to some local vendors.
I'm here at the Purdue Memorial Mall, where local vendors are serving up sweets, treats, and meats to Purdue students, faculty, and staff.
It's the 12th running for the Purdue Farmers Market, which has been bringing local goods to the campus since 2005. Purdue hosts a variety of vendors, including bakeries selling items such as fresh breads, scones, and cookies, as well as farmers who offer fresh herbs and various plants for the garden. Some of the more popular vendors include Spasibo and Crazy Mike's Barbecue, as well as Longhouse Farms, which features unique goods made right at home.
We initially started with vegetables. We do a CSA, which means Community Supported Agriculture. And we've grown into a popcorn business, a jam business, a pasta business, and maple syrup.
So what is
Many students value the farmers market as a convenient stop for lunch.
It's really close, for one, so if I get something here, I can take it back to my dorm where I know it won't get flipped around in my bag or crushed and then be nothing but crumbs.
The farmers market runs during the fall every Thursday from 11 to 3. October 27th is the last day for the Purdue Farmers Market as it closes its doors for the winter. We'll be back in May. Ryan Nally, Fast Track News.
Coming to Purdue and living away from home can be scary for some students. It's a season in your life where you discover who you are and what you identify with.
For some, it may be easy to find their place and be accepted, but for others, it may not. So where can students go for help? Reporter Sheena Steffen has that answer.
With the new school year underway, over 40,000 students enrolled at Purdue this semester. Of those, over 1,600 represent minority students. Because Purdue identifies itself as a diverse campus, programs and centers that promote diversity and help merge students together are key. One of those programs just so happens to be Purdue Identities Project.
The Purdue Identities Project is a widespread diversity initiative. We're focusing not just on one particular category of diversity, but we're looking at all the different types of identities that people can have, how those identities intersect, and how some of those are concealed, and the problems that that can lead to.
Purdue Identities Project provides many resources for students, like video campaigns, a blog, and special training.
What I like about PIP is that right now it's really allowing people to kind of come out of, their shell and express who they really are and how they really feel about themselves, not only just to their friends or family, but also to everyone on campus. So I think that's a huge opportunity for disclosure here.
I-Squared, also called Identity Inclusive, is a certification for organizations. This training comes in two parts. The first is an identity workshop where people learn what identity is. The second part is the action, or when organizations create ways to become more identity friendly.
Students that join get to show the campus that they are registered as identity inclusive, and they also get opportunities that only those who are inclusive will get, such as extra funding opportunities, monthly networking meetings, and chances to attend other events.
Purdue Identity Project is a great program that helps students, staff, and the community realize how important it is to be aware of others around you and respect their identities.
It's absolutely very important to be comfortable with who you are and expressing who you are as well.
To learn more about the project or to get involved, you can visit their website for more information at www.purdue.edu/PIP.
We think that it's really important that the campus sees those faces and realizes you can't always tell just by looking at someone what story they have.
Sheena Steffen, Fast Track News.
When we come back, we take a look at a Lafayette native who has made it to the big leagues.
And later, Fast Track reporter Griffin Schiller has his review on a recent movie of this week's Film Friday. Stay with us. Welcome back. As another summer of baseball comes to a close, a former Boilermaker wraps up his first season in the majors.
Lafayette native and former Purdue ace Nick Whitgren made his big league debut with the Miami Marlins on April 19th and has been a relief pitcher for the Marlins ever since. Fast Track reporter Robert Dupler has more.
From a McCutcheon Maverick to a Miami Marlin, Nick Whitgren struggles finding the right words to describe his journey into the majors.
You're here, you've worked your whole entire life, and you're finally here, and you go to different stadiums, and every time I walk into a different one, I kind of go back to home plate, take a picture, and I kind of just take it in for the moment, and then that's my like little kid side. Yeah. Okay, done, now it's business time.
With all the excitement of being called up, Whitgren had an unusual first day as a Marlin.
It was actually really hectic since I got called up literally in the middle of the day, and I didn't get to the ball field until the 4th inning of that game that I made my debut. It was really weird going around the back way, getting the bullpen. You know, everyone's joking around, saying, "Why weren't you here for anthem?" And
he might be a professional now, but Whitgren's still a rookie, and he's still learning the game day operations of the majors.
One time he asked if there was any restrooms in the bullpen, and there's always restrooms in there because you can't keep running back and forth. And I think that was the only thing he said that was really like, he had been in most of the parks before, and we're like, yeah, dude, there's always a restroom in the bullpen.
Bathrooms aside, the 25-year-old made his debut back in late April, and his new teammates are glad to have him aboard.
He's versatile, and it's a guy that definitely picks us up in the pen. I know sometimes, you know, there have been times with me, Rodney, and Phelps have pitched a lot, and he steps in and fills in for somebody and fits right in. He's got good stuff, and he's not scared. That's the biggest thing, is that some guys come up here and they're a little nervous or whatever. You didn't see any of that with him. He kind of goes after the hitters, and it's something that you like to see.
The former Boilermaker will likely finish the season with 42 strikeouts and an ERA of 3.14. Reporting for Fast Track, Robert Dupler.
Let's check back in with Matt for an extended weather forecast for the West Lafayette area.
Thanks, Tommy. We've had another dreary day here on campus here at Purdue, as we had constant on and off showers throughout much of the day, and that's pretty much been the case for the entire area, as the high temperatures have generally been in the upper 60s throughout much of the entire area, as we had a temperature of 67 in Champaign today, a 67 also in Springfield and Decatur, and a 64 in Terre Haute. If you look at current conditions, our temperatures haven't really changed much due to the clouds in the area. We have a 64 in Kokomo, a 65 in Rensselaer, and a 63 in Champaign. Our high today was 64 degrees, which is 8 degrees below normal for this time of the year, while the low was 59, which is 13 degrees above. As we've had a cooler days, as no sun has been able to get in the area, but as we have warmer nights thanks to the clouds. Our records for this time of the year are 96, that was set back in 1952, and a record low of 29 degrees that was set back in 1993. Our current satellite radar shows the low pressure system is currently to our south, and it's spinning around southern Indiana, which is causing these showers to come in through the east and head west. And these will continue throughout most of the night. As we see, the low pressure begins to move slowly north later this evening, and it will pretty much stick around, as a chance of showers and maybe a rumble of thunder will be possible for this evening. And on 7 a.m. Saturday, the low pressure slowly continues to move east, and we still have showers throughout much of the area. And on 2 p.m. Tuesday on the future radar, we have the low pressure system beginning to move northeast and move out into the area, as we'll still have showers throughout much of the day. Our lows tonight will be, we have a 60 in Kokomo, and low temperature will be 59 here at Purdue with mixed showers throughout much of the evening, and a 60 in Champaign. Our forecast for Saturday calls for mostly cloudy skies with showers likely, and a high temperature of 63 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Our chance of precipitation will be 60%. And on Saturday night, you should expect cloudy skies with a chance of showers. A low temperature will be 51 degrees. Our winds will be out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Our chance of precipitation will be 40%. And on Sunday, you should expect clouds in the morning hours and clearing throughout much of the day. Our high temperature will be 67 degrees, excuse me. Our winds will be out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you want a more extended 7-day outlook, I will be back here later for that. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. This time last year was a completely different feel for Purdue's high flyer Basil Smotherman. Now he knows he will be on the floor contributing for his Boilermakers in the upcoming season.
This time last year, he was in the middle of making a career-changing decision. The junior at the time decided to redshirt and sit out a season to focus on perfecting his game, and with that came a lot of time in the gym.
Quiet and alone. Just the way Basil Smotherman likes to spend his nights in Mackey Arena. The junior forward for the Purdue Boilermakers said it was a difficult decision, but it was the right one. Redshirting this season is what he thinks is best for his game and for Purdue basketball this year.
There's a lot of competition on the wing spot, so I mean, I felt like I looked at the roster to see like where minutes were, and I felt like I would be the last man out. So I went to Coach Painter and said, I think the best thing for Purdue basketball would be is for me the red shirt, and we saw eye to eye on it, and we thought it was the best decision for me and Purdue.
Skip pass, Smotherman throws it down.
Purdue steals it, goes down, Basil Smotherman, he outran everybody to get the ball.
Smotherman is known for his high-flying acrobatic dunks during the first 2 years with the Boilers, but now all the 6'6" forward is focusing on is working hard every day.
Redshirt, and it's not a year off to like party, do whatever, go home, kind of do all that stuff. It's kind of just getting down to business, kind of just lifting, which I do every day, working out, working on my game, coming in with Coach Brantley, working with one of the coaches on my game, or having PJ's dad come down here and just work out with me. So it's kind of just working on your game and kind of just not falling behind, because I mean, when you're redshirt, you feel a little distant from the team, but you still got to work on your game.
Reporting for Purdue University, I am Tommy Barrett.
If you're looking to spend some time at the movies this weekend, you're sure to find something.
Opening this Friday is the long-awaited comedy Masterminds, Tim Burton's latest film, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and the depiction of the 2010 explosion and oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico Deepwater Horizon. Here to bring you his thoughts on the Deepwater Horizon is Griffin Schiller with another Film Friday.
Hey everyone, Griffin Schiller bringing you all another Film Friday. All right, so we got 3 movies coming out this week. The first being Tim Burton's latest film, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, based off the graphic novel of the same name. It's starring Eva Green, Asa Butterfield, and Sam Jackson's playing the villain. And it's kind of like an X-Men type movie. There's like a home or a mansion for a bunch of weird people who have abilities and whatnot. And Asa Butterfield kind of stumbles upon them and the adventure ensues. That's all I really know about the movie. I haven't seen it yet, but it's one that I'm looking forward to checking out. And for all you Tim Burton fans or fans of this kind of story in general, this is definitely the movie for you this weekend. So the next film on our list is a comedy. For all you comedy fans, it's called Masterminds, and it's starring Owen Wilson, Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, and it's directed by the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite. So if you're a fan of that movie or that kind of style of humor, then this might be the movie for you this weekend. I don't really know a whole lot about it, other than it's been in production for like ever and is finally being released. So that's kind of cool. So once again, if you're a comedy fan, this is the movie for you this weekend. Now, the third movie on our list is one of those based on true events type movies called Deepwater Horizon. It's directed by Peter Berg and starring Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, and Dylan O'Brien for all you Teen Wolf fans, and a bunch of other people. And it's about the 2010 BP oil explosion / spill, which ended up being the worst oil spill in American history. Now, I got a chance to see this movie, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on the film. And the first thing I gotta say is, wow. This movie is fantastic. It's the first film of the year where I can honestly say this should be nominated for Best Picture. It blew me away. And the source of that whole thing is gotta be Peter Berg. I mean, he does a fantastic job of directing this movie, of telling the story. For those of you who don't know, Peter Berg did Lone Survivor, and it kind of has a similar feel to that, and actually I think felt more real than Lone Survivor, and in some ways I enjoyed it more than Lone Survivor. Don't know if as a whole I like it better, but it's definitely neck for neck with that. So good job, Peter Berg. I thoroughly enjoyed his directing and the way he decided to approach the source material and the film. Now, the next thing that I really enjoyed was the acting. We've got Mark Wahlberg, gives a great performance, kind of similar to his performance in Lone Survivor. I may have actually liked this one a little bit more, who knows, but he does a great job. Then we got Kurt Russell, who plays kind of the leader of the crew members on board the oil rig, and it's nice to see his camaraderie with them and how they really respect him as a leader. And the other part about his character that I really liked was his interactions with John Malkovich's character, who plays the BP guy on board the oil rig who's kind of in charge, I guess you could say. And really, he's one of the main reasons why this whole explosion happens. he kind of forces them to leave the area when they're not ready to leave. And he plays such a despicable character. I mean, I hated him. And there's these few scenes and really the interactions with Kurt Russell where you just really see how much of an awful person this guy was, or is. I guess he's still living. But, so good job, John Malkovich, for making us hate you in this movie. Malkovich! The next part of this movie that really kind of pulled me in was just how emotional it was. And that part of that has to do with how real it felt, but then the other part has to do with that first act that Peter Berg set up beautifully, which helped us understand these characters. It showed us their families, their backstories, their interactions with one another, and it really got us to care for them. Now, on top of that, I was also on the edge of my seat because this is an incredibly suspenseful and thrilling film. Not in a good way. You're wanting these guys to make it out alive, and for a good portion of the film, you really don't know if they are. I mean, I'm amazed that anyone survived this explosion. So ultimately, I gotta say, this movie is a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved every moment of it. Great emotional piece. If you want to see it, I highly recommend it. It's the movie to see this weekend. So those are my thoughts on Deepwater Horizon, and those are the films coming out this week. So hopefully you decide to go see one of them. Hopefully it's Deepwater Horizon, but until next time, thanks for tuning in to Film Friday. I'm Griffin Schiller, Fast Track News.
We're almost out of time, but before we go, let's check in one more time with Matt for a 7-day forecast.
Thanks, guys. As you can see on our current radar, we still have the showers. We still have lingering showers throughout the area. These should continue to be around here for the rest of the evening on tonight. And as our forecast for tonight calls for showers likely with a low of 59 degrees. Our winds will be out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Our chance of precipitation will be about 70%. And on Saturday, you should expect mostly cloudy skies with showers likely. Our high will be 63 degrees. Our winds will be out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Our chance of precipitation will be 60%. And as you see here on the 7-day outlook, we will have continually showers lingering on Saturday and into Sunday morning, and they should clear out and giving us mostly sunny skies throughout much of the day with a high of 67 degrees. And we should have continued clearing on Monday and Tuesday as temperatures will rebound into the 70s by up to 75 on Tuesday. And we can get up to 80 on Wednesday. However, there will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We will have a high temperature of 80 on Thursday and a high temperature of 72 on Friday. Back to you guys.
That's all we have for this week's edition of Fast Track. I'm Dakota Simon.
And I'm Tommy Barrett. For these stories and more, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and our YouTube page. Thanks again for tuning in. See you next week.